This is the Healthology Experts, where we talk about the art and science of health and longevity. I'm Dr. Traveller, and thank you for joining us. Hey guys, today's episode is brought to you by our Healthology Experts Weight Loss Accelerator Program. It's really 5 components, really quick, we'll go through. It's the contour light, it's a device that pumps energy into the body and helps you to just be healthier and lose inches. It's our peptides, so it's the semaglutide injections. It's the STIQ scan. It's the coaching for diet and exercise, and then coaching for lifestyle. And if you look at those things, it's like something to just make you overall more healthy, make you feel better, something to help you lose the weight that you've been struggling to lose. For many people, that's a challenge. Something to track your results and really track them really well. Something to change your habits, your eating and exercise habits, and then something to change and help you have a better mindset. Okay, so with those 5 things, our Healthology Expert Weight Loss Accelerator Program has been successful for helping so many people, and we hope that if that's a challenge for you, that it can help you as well. So brought to you by that, and enjoy the episode. All right, you guys, hey, it's Dr. Traveller, I'm back. Sorry we missed the 1 week with my trip. I was at Brazil, and I had pre-posted some of the others, but life got crazy. I ended up getting a sinus infection when I was there anyway, and I'm still kind of clearing up a little of that. We have a very special guest though today. She is not, I will say that she's not happy to be here, okay? Just admittedly, these are the things that mothers do. We've got my mom, Leanne Traveller, is here today. I popped this on her this morning. I said, hey, I've been trying to I've got a few people in the mix, but I don't know if we're gonna get anybody in. I've been thinking for a long time. I knew that she wouldn't want to be on here, but I've been thinking, I want to talk to my mom. I want to get her on here. I did a podcast years ago and had my dad on. I'll probably drag him on here again because it's a little bit different theme. But I've just been thinking, I got to get my mom on and talk about this. And talk, when I say this, just kind of life in general. And again, this is the Healthology Experts. Our purpose is to help people be physically, mentally, and spiritually healthy. And really what I wanted to talk to her about today is kind of life she's my mom, right? So I wanted to talk about maybe her thought processes as a mother. She'd say I wasn't a perfect mother. To me, she was the perfect mother for me.
You're too kind.
But there's just things that I can remember. Like there are moments of like health, physical. I mean, physical is the low-hanging fruit. That's probably where we'll kind of start. But why don't you start us off, Mom? They don't know who you are.
Okay.
Why don't you tell them just a little about, you can say about your family,
Okay.
And we'll start there. So tell us who you are.
Yep. I'm Leanne Traveller, Justin's mother, of course. Yes, he did drag me in here. This is not something I love to do. So I told him if it doesn't turn out, to just erase it. So anyway, yeah, I grew up with brothers and sisters. I had 6 brothers and sisters. I grew up, my dad was a veterinarian, so health and medical has always been something I've really loved. My dad taught us a lot when he was a veterinarian about animals and how the body functions. I learned a lot about the body from him. And then I got married and had 5 children, and I have 21 grandchildren. And
I'm the second.
Yes.
I have 1 older sister. And then it goes girl, boy, girl, boy, girl. I'm the first boy.
Yep, he is, and he's been a joy in our life.
I sometimes have to pay her to say
That's not true.
No, and another interesting part. So that's kind of just really brief. Her and my dad, they retired. Our family's originally from Cache Valley, up in northern part of the state of Utah, and she thought she was coming down to retire, and but I could tell she was bored.
I was.
You know
I
what?
really needed something to do.
And so
I like the medical. I love health. So
I feel like
she's
a natural healer anyway. I always say females kind of do a better job. I've always said, it seems like males tend to be the doctor. That's the stereotype, but I always said whenever I got hurt, you run to mom. And even though I know more than my wife about, like, you know, healing and health if you get hurt. The kids run to mom, you know, it's just natural. You go to mom.
It is, and you go to grandma.
And you go to grandma, and but she thought she was coming down to retire. You can tell she's in scrubs. I drug her in here again. I said this morning because she comes in. She runs the soft wave for us. She's our soft wave tech and does.
And I really enjoyed it. I enjoy working with people individually, and I've helped a lot of people get better. So I get out of their pain mostly.
Yeah,
so I love that.
I begrudgingly say she's better at it than I am now. It's just the truth. At Softwave, she's gotten pretty darn good at it.
So a lot more than you.
She does it a lot more, but she does have that gift too. So anyone who, I wouldn't say anybody, we'd like to get more trained on Softwave, but the likelihood of you, if you come in for Softwave, the likelihood of you being treated by my mom is pretty high.
It's true.
Yeah, she does a really good job.
Thank you.
Okay, but what I want to talk about now is, okay, so there were moments, like I remember health in general. I mean, I would say, we say physical, mental, spiritual. Spiritual, I was raised, we were, you know, very religious, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. You know, I think, let's just say that, I don't know that we need, unless you want to, we can talk a little bit about that. I felt very spiritually healthy. My parent, you know, we prayed, anyway, that was always something that we did. We read our scripture. We did a lot of stuff that I felt like I had a relationship with I would say God. For a lot of people, the relationship with someone, a being higher than themselves. I felt like I definitely had that. But I also remember, I remember my mom being active. I can remember going to the gyms. I dreaded as a little kid. It's like
I'd put him in the nursery.
Yeah, so I'd go into the nursery and she'd go work out. So for you, how have you said your health? Has health always been on your mind? It seems like you're an active person. I wouldn't say.
I am. I love to be active. I do not like sitting. It drives me crazy. But yeah, I've had times up and down in my life of health and nutrition, and when the kids were little, I didn't have, my husband was always gone. Either he was in school and being the bishop, and he was very active in church, and so I didn't have him around a lot. So sometimes the kids, it was like, I'm so tired, here, just eat some SpaghettiOs. There's times in your life when that's what you do. You just, it's feed them SpaghettiOs or pizza, or just be quiet and their tummies are full. That's all that mattered. That's how I'm surviving as a mother. So, but then I learned more as I got older. I actually started investigating more nutrition. I started gaining weight, and I didn't like that, and so I got into a thing called Melise. It's a health and nutrition detoxing, and they trained me a lot on that, and that was really interesting to me, and I actually learned how to eat better and healthier, and I started introducing more healthy things to my children, and I don't know if they loved it. But.
No, and this is one thing that I was telling with my mom. She's kind of brought herself into it. I was gonna ask, because there was this moment, I remember when we were little, going to the gyms. Yes. So you were always this exerciser.
Yes, I was.
But just as you said, I don't know if it's a knowledge thing, right? I mean, most people don't know what's healthy and what's not. We always just think, low fat was kind of the thing. So you eat as healthy as you can, but it seemed like there was this moment. I can remember that it felt like there was a moment where, all of a sudden, we started to eat healthier. Which, as a kid, you're like, I don't know, maybe didn't love it as much, but at the same time, it was good. I always remember our food, but there was this moment, so that was the moment.
Yeah, I just learned. I started, and I actually started helping them in their clinics. It was a holistic doctor that actually came up with this whole thing, and she taught me all the principles of nutrition, stay away from refined sugars and refined flours. It's more, just the healthy stuff. It's the stuff that God would give you.
Whole foods.
Whole foods. That's what I learned, and I lost 35 pounds. I became healthy. Actually, vegetables and fruits started tasting 100 times better. Like they really did. But then, you go through these little swings again, and you get back in your bad habits. But no, I learned a ton from that, though. I learned so much from actually doing it myself. That's the thing, is you actually need to do it yourself to feel the difference.
Yeah.
So once you do it, you're converted.
I feel like from that moment, though, we never, you kind of go up and down, and we had 5 kids. It was a busy home, but it felt like nutritionally we were never quite the same. Like we never did go back to TV. I remember we'd eat TV dinners.
Yeah.
Those were so unhealthy.
Yeah.
But I mean, like you said, you wanted a date night, and you're like, hey kids, you get TV dinners, and we thought cereal. We thought we'd hit the jackpot, but like nutritionally it was terrible. But so as a mother, then, I mean, was there a plan? No plan, or you did have a plan? Like what? That was your thought process?
Well, as a little girl, I grew up. My mother always had a huge garden, and so I was taught pretty much to eat healthy, out of the garden. So it was always on the back of my mind. But again, as mothers, we run so much. You're running constantly, and so it's sometimes really hard to eat healthy and to get in those healthy habits. So I kind of felt like the Melise thing really helped me to remember to get back into eating healthy, whole nutrition, and then I've tried to teach my kids, and I think that's kind of where Justin came into, maybe even chiropractic.
Well, and if you look, okay, so I mean, she obviously is never going to no mother gives themselves credit. If you look at our family, her father was a veterinarian, so in healthcare with animals, but he also, this was in a small town, so he treated almost as many humans as he did.
He did.
Maybe not legally. He's passed on, so he can't be thrown in jail, but I know that there were people who would go to him for everything.
One of the neighbors said, "Oh, I didn't know that real doctors stitched you up. I thought we had to go to the veterinarian."
See? So there you go.
Yeah.
So he treated a lot of humans and knew, what's, not always what's good for animals, but he knew that generally. So he was a veterinarian. You were in healthcare yourself. You worked for a pediatrician up north.
I became an MA after,
She was an MA. She was a first responder.
I was a first responder.
Prompted because of her children. I always say I promoted I flew through a window, and that's when she said it hit her that she needed to do that.
I just always, I love to learn. I love to learn medical. I always wanted to be a nurse, but that just never came about. I was too busy with my family, and so I just thought MA would be a really good one. Or EMT. Going to the EMT course was really good. I learned a lot of things just dealing medically with my family, my children, and I think every mother should go through it because it's so good.
Some sort of training.
Yeah.
Nutritionally,
medical, just all of it, and even holistic. I think they're all combined. I think they're all necessary. I don't say one's.
Yeah, because that's what I said. So, and then I was gonna say, so you did that. I don't know. None of your other siblings really got into.
Tatha.
Oh yeah, Tatha's a nurse now. She's a nurse practitioner,
Rob
right?
worked in the medical
so
records.
And he's a what do you say? He does administration.
Mm-hmm.
So he's healthcare administration. Yeah. But then your own children. You look at your kid. You got a chiropractor, a nurse. So my oldest sister is a nurse. You got a massage therapist. And then outside of that, I feel like we're quite active. I know you don't and don't do a lot of racing, but like
Dad does.
Yes, your husband is very active. Your boy, I've done a lot of racing, right? My brother's done some racing. So I feel like that our parents really rubbed off on us. And when you look at the statistics, I'm still trying to figure out. I look at a statistic actually, and it'll say, like, if the mother is active, you're this much more likely that your kids are going to be active. But then I've seen other statistics that say that kids actually choose, like they're more likely to go towards the health habits of the father. I don't know if that's, I need to look into that one more, but I do remember reading that. So I think it's important for both, and I feel like we definitely have that.
We did that. both Bruce and I, we walk every morning. We try and get exercise every morning, and I think that's rubbed off on Justin too. He runs every morning. I'm not a runner. Sorry,
She doesn't
don't
like
do
to
that.
run.
No, don't love
But
to
she
run.
likes to be active.
I love to be active.
Okay.
I love hiking and yeah, I love all that. So
Okay. All right. 2 more questions. Number 1. So for the, let's say for the mothers out there,
okay.
Are there any other tips, like for, let's just say specifically for eating, like, is there anything that you would say, either words of, how do you say, pep, you can do it, or words of wisdom for helping your children? Let's say that for the parents and helping the kids maybe eat a little healthier, what would you say is something that would be helpful for them?
Oh man. It's just hard because, like I said, mothers are so busy, and sometimes just grabbing a hamburger, going to McDonald's is the easiest. But you know what? That's okay. Just make sure that when you're home, when you have those opportunities to be home, to really focus on the nutrition, making sure there's carrots around and apples, and just choose healthier snacks. Maybe even in your eating, choose healthier snacks so your children can see you, and make it fun for them. I think, you know, making like the little celery logs with the raisins, and, you know, just make it cute, fun.
Ants on a log, right?
Ants on a log, yeah.
I love it.
Or just, I think making things fun helps the kids eat better as well. So, and sometimes you're tired and you don't want to do that. That's okay.
Yes.
Don't get after yourself or not, but yeah.
What I'm hearing is something that I've kind of adopted too, is like, life is about balancing your stress, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And if you are so stressed about what you're eating, but you're eating really healthy, the stress that you've caused yourself, I think, kind of counterbalances. So, like, you're causing damage because of the stress that you're going through.
That's true. Yeah.
So I think it's important to kind of, like you said, have like a healthy mindset, and just say, you know what?
Tonight's a burger night. That's what it is.
But to even say, like, that switch that you kind of flipped, it felt like there was a switch in our family where it was like, where we went from, you know, whatever health is important, but we don't really know, to like, I feel like we went to, and we became a healthy family.
Yeah.
Like, there was this mentality.
Because I learned.
Yeah, because you learned.
Schooling, just schooling yourself. I mean, you don't have to take a course. I mean, it's fun, and learning's always a great idea too. So learning new things, learning new options. I love Pinterest. I love how easy it is to go in and find fun, easy, nutritious meals.
So much knowledge
easy.
out
Yes, now there is.
Okay.
And when I was a mother, there was not.
You had to search for it.
You do. That's a really good thing.
Yeah, so there you go. So become healthy, right? And say, hey, we are now, like you could say today we are a healthy family, and we make healthy family choices. Now that means there's still days when you're exhausted, and but for the most part, you say we do healthy things.
Yeah.
I like that frame of mind. That's really good.
Yeah.
Okay, the last one is the one that I've started to ask everybody at the end. So even though this is about longevity, I talk about living to 121. None of us make it out of here alive, right? At some point, we try and live the most productive, happiest, healthiest lives that we can. But for you, and I know this is such a big, deep question that you have no warning for it, but for you, when your time on this earth has passed, physically, mentally, spiritually, what legacy would you like to leave? What do you hope that we say about you?
My mom was good at everything she did. They actually tell me I'm practically perfect in every way.
Mary Poppins.
I'm Mary Poppins, but that's not true. I mean, I have a lot of faults, but yeah. That I tried my very best in family and spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, and that I loved my family, and I loved my neighbors, and I love God. So.
Well, I can easily say that right now. I don't think you're going to ruin it from between now and the many years we still have. But okay, see, this was good. This is not a thrower-outer. This is a keeper.
I hope so.
No, it's been good.
Good.
Well, I love you.
I love you too.
Yes, I don't get to tell all my guests that, but
I love my mom. She does so much for me, so much for the office. I hope all of our I hope that this goes out to people all over the world, but my main audience is my patient. I want my patients to be physically, mentally, and spiritually healthy. So for my patients, I hope everyone gets a chance to meet my mom. If you are in the office, usually Tuesdays and Thursdays, come on in, meet her, and she's, of course, I'm biased, but she's amazing.
Thank you, Justin.
Okay, so this is Dr. Traveller and my mom, Leanne Traveller, and we are signing out. See you guys.
All right, thanks for listening today. Hey, if you could please go on, like, subscribe, make a comment, go on to all the other social media. Go on to Facebook, Instagram, go on to TikTok, search for Healthology Experts. It really helps us to grow and push this message. And if you gain value from this, then go on and please participate. We try to get to all of the questions or anything that you have, any responses or comments. So go, like, subscribe, do all the stuff that you know helps us. All right, guys, see ya.